A 2-year-old boy lost his life at a daycare in Connecticut. When I say at a daycare, I mean inside the daycare, okay? He was eating, he choked, and that was it, okay? This tragedy has me very worked up. It has me really, really worked up. When it aired, it just put a fire inside of me, okay? Like, so many questions, like, how did this happen? What was it? What was he eating? Like, that doesn't even matter what he was eating, right? It's like, how did this happen? Who was watching them? Who was watching the kids? So you all know I'm all about advocacy and helping parents make confident decisions about their bodies and babies. So I just want to give you all some pointers and, what you can do to make the best decision for your child when it comes to daycare, okay? Some tools you can use to help you make that decision, okay? Probably one of the most important decision for your kid, one of the most nerve-wracking decisions for your kid, that you have to put your kid in daycare and you want the daycare to be safe, right? So I'm just gonna give you some quick tips and points, all right? Because what happened should never happen again, right? That shouldn't have happened at all, right? So I just want this video to empower parents to advocate for their kid and what to do when you're daycare hunting, if you want to call that, or in the daycare marketplace. So yeah, this is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to do. You're looking around for daycares. You maybe have 5 that you're interested in, right? This is what you're going to do. You are going to go on www.211childcare.org. It is a state website, okay? A public state website for Connecticut residents. I'm sure other states have this as well, but this site is going to show you the history of, the daycares, summer programs, the history, okay? The inspection reports. Was the inspection a surprise inspection? Was it a planned inspection? Did they know about it? The state employee who did the inspection, who signed off on the inspection at the center, what the center was in violation of. You're going to see also the correction report. You're going to see everything, okay? You're going to use these reports as a tool to narrow down your search, or narrow down, just narrow down your search, okay? No, we're not going with this. Yes, we're going with that, okay? And you're also going to use this site and, the reports, and take them with you on tour to these daycares, okay? Or even if your kid is already at a center, do a search once in a while for your center and use that report to ask some questions, okay? It is totally okay to ask questions wherever your child is when you are not with them, okay? Like, even a day after this tragedy, I got on the phone with my kid's daycare director because my anxiety was like through the roof, okay? I just needed some reassurance. I really needed some reassurance. I asked her some questions that I already knew the answers to, but again, like, I just really needed some reassurance, and she did that. You should be able to do that. You should be able to call up your director, have a meeting, then whatever, and ask a question, and they answer you willingly, right? And they reassure you, because that's their job. Their job is to reassure parents that your kid is safe with them, okay, while you are at work, right? Okay. So if you have a question, if you bring questions or concerns, suggestions to your daycare center and they are very defensive, they're very short, they may be trying to avoid you always, that is a huge red flag, okay? Very big red flag, okay? In addition to having access to the reports, you're also going to ask questions. You need to ask questions. Asking questions is how you advocate, okay, for your child, how you advocate for your money. Daycare is very expensive. Childcare is very expensive. You need to know you're sending your money to a very safe and worth it place, right? So you need to ask questions like, what is the staff to student ratio, the retention rate of staff? Even, you drop your kid off one day, ask the staff like, oh, how long have you been here? Or, how long you've been working with kids? Or, things like that to kind of give you a feel like, are people always quitting? Ask, are all staff members CPR certified? Are all staff members med cert, first aid certified? How many staff members are with kids when it's eating time? Are those staff members CPR certified? Are there cameras at the center? The food catered to the center, or is it prepped at the center, right? Is it chopped? Is it smashed? Is it, whatever it may be? Even you can ask them, is there a menu, a monthly menu of what's being served at the center, right? So, you can get a heads up of what's going to be served at the center, okay? Can you bring can you pack your kids their own lunch? Can you pop up at the center at any time you want to and have lunch with your kid, or just do an activity with your kid, or just, pop up and see how everything is going, right? I know since COVID, that kind of stopped and paused. But I hope centers are bringing that back in, because I think it's really important for parents to be able to and have the right to see how their kid is doing during the day, see how the center is doing during the day, okay? What are some other questions? There's so many questions. You could ask for the credentials of the director, the staff members, right? Whatever you can think of, ask, okay? It is okay. Don't let nobody tell you that you're being extra, you're being too much. No. These are, your kids, our babies. They cannot advocate for themselves, right? You have to advocate for them. You want to make sure that where you're bringing them while they are out of your sight is the most safest place possible, okay? So, hey, let them call you extra. It is what it is, okay? But asking questions is not only how you advocate for your kid, for your money, but it's also how you keep these centers on their P's and Q's. And that's how you hold them accountable. Because if they see that, there's parents who, they always have questions, they're always making suggestions, things like that, they are going to be nervous to drop the ball, okay? They're going to be minimum slack. And you already know what they say. Parent engagement is very important, okay? You can even, if there's not a, like a PTO board at your kid's daycare center, you can create one, where, there's a board of parents or a group of parents who bring their concerns on the behalf of other parents or themselves, and you hold the center accountable. You keep them on their P's and Q's, because you want to make sure that not just your child is being protected, but all kids are being protected, even after your kid is not there anymore, right? It's very unfortunate that this tragedy had to happen. It really, really is. But I just know there are going to be a lot of changes for daycares. I know the state of Connecticut is on probably every daycare tail. Okay, they're on every daycare's tail right now. The center did close down. I'm not sure if you all know, for a while. It did recently open back up. I want to say like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I actually was surprised that it opened back up. I was really, really surprised that it opened back up. I'm not sure if it's under a new director, you know, which staff was let go, or, you know, I'm not sure. I'm not sure which families returned. I'm really not sure. I'm really, really not sure. But whew, I tell you, overall, I hope this video has helped you, empowered you, and encouraged you to be engaged at your kids' daycare center, okay? Go on the 2-on-1 site, look up the reports once in a while, ask questions, look around, okay? I also will be creating a PDF type of checklist to help, you know, you parents, you know, when you're touring, and, you know, some questions to ask. I will be doing that. When it's ready, I'll put the link in the comments, or if you're interested, you can put your email in the comments. But whew, but yeah, that is it. To that dear mother, that heartbroken mother, we send our thoughts and prayers to you. We wish you all the healing, the love and comfort and justice, okay? I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.